All right, good morning, everybody. We're going to try this again. It says there's a problem with my wireless signal and I'm not even on Wi-Fi. So go figure. So if I drop you again, I apologize. Any event, Rick Saulle, good morning. Good to be with you. Gorgeous, gorgeous Friday the 13th. I'm going to talk to you this morning about something that's incredibly important, and that is perspective. Because if you keep your problems in perspective, I find life's going to be a lot smoother. And I realize there's certain things in life, real life problems I call them, that we can't avoid. Death, disease, terrible events like happened in Las Vegas, the fires in California, and I can go on and on. But then there's everything else. And those are the problems that consume us. And those are the problems that I'm talking about today. All right, so I'm going to give you 9 tips that are going to help you manage your perspective and live an easier life. Not a problem-free life, but an easier life. Number 1, context. Is this really a big deal? And that's important to consider because you got to look at it in the grand scheme of life. In that moment, it seems like an insurmountable problem, right? But then you've got to look at it in a week, a month, a year. Is this really going to matter? And you can all think of examples right now, and feel free to post them in the comments, of problems that you're dealing with right now that aren't going to matter a hill of beans in a week. And yes, I did just use the phrase hill of beans. Number 2, accept the fact that everything in our life happens for a reason. Cliche? Absolutely, but it's a fact. And you got to keep in mind, even good things happen for a reason. You know, how many times when something good happens to you does someone say, hey, everything happens for a reason? Never, because we don't think about good things. But if you start looking at it in those terms and realize everything good or bad happens for a reason, that's going to really give you that P word, perspective. Number 3, always take stock of the good in your life. Your family, your friends, your job, your health, the fact that you're above ground and get to enjoy a magnificent morning like this. Because those are the things that really matter. And those truly are what give us perspective. But so few of us take time to embrace the good in our lives because we're so focused on the negative or the bad or the problems. Number 4, and this is going to be difficult for some of my male friends, I know that, talk to others. Okay, don't internalize. That's the worst thing you can do. All right, but that's what a lot of us do, is we keep it inside. We want to deal with it on our own because our thought process is, well, no one cares about me. No one cares about my problems. They've got their own problems. So the fact is, you've got to talk to people. I don't care if it's going out and, enjoying a cup of coffee with a friend, telling them about your situation, listening to theirs, and leaving it out there, getting it off the table. Because oftentimes that's all we really want to do, is take that burden off of our shoulders and get someone else to help us carry it. Number 5, you need to look around at other people and realize their problems are a lot worse than yours. And think about all those things I mentioned at the beginning, all the really, truly bad things that happen in this world. If you're fortunate enough to run through the raindrops and not have to deal with any of those, then you're a very blessed and lucky individual. So if you ever think, man, I got it bad, look around and you'll see how much worse other people have it. And that, my friends, is true perspective. The next one, surround yourself with positive people. What do they say? We become who we spend the most time with. Well, if you're surrounding yourself with negative people who are always looking at, as my friend Lynn said, the glass half empty rather than the glass half full, then the issue is you're going to start to believe that as well. All right, so start to distance yourself from them. And I've done that. I've had people in my life over the years that I've drifted away from. They're friends. I love them. I care about them. But they're not a positive influence in my life. And they infuse negativity into my life. And I don't need that. Because life's hard enough as it is. When you walk, and then you start walking around with those negative thoughts and images and that negative self-talk. So distance yourself from the negative forces in your life. Always look for the silver lining. Within every problem, there's an opportunity. The key is to find that opportunity. Find that silver lining. Find something positive out of a negative situation. And those opportunities are everywhere. I don't care if it's at home. I don't care if it's at work, your relationship with your spouse. Wherever it is, you can find something to build upon, something good out of every situation. The key is, do you want to find it? Are you willing to look for it? Because sometimes it's not as clear as we see it. 8, don't allow negative words or actions to permeate your life. I touched upon this a little bit when I talked about negative people, but the words and actions are the real killers, because those are just like, they just stick to you. And you just hear them and they're bouncing around in your head and you're like, I can't stand this negativity, these words, and you do it to yourself. That's the worst part. Oh gosh, and I tell you all the time, I have some coaching clients, and I hear this all the time. I can't do that. That's not me. That's out of my comfort zone. All right, those are negative thoughts. It may be a fact that you believe because you've made yourself believe it. You've convinced yourself of it. Once you do it and get past that fear and conquer that fear, get over that hump, it's not nearly as bad as you thought it was. So stop with the negative self-talk. And lastly, I don't care, if you're a church-going person or not, but the fact is, you've got to pray. Pray to whoever you want to pray to. It doesn't matter who it is, what you believe in. Everybody has some degree of spirituality. Meditate. Walk. Think. Write in a journal. Whatever it is for you, use that time to pour everything out and leave it somewhere. Maybe you don't want to leave it with another person. That's not your style. All right? But leave it somewhere so it's outside of you and it doesn't necessarily become your problem anymore. I hope that makes sense to you. I was I'm a big walker. I love to walk. I hate to run, love to walk. I don't even like to walk fast. I just like to walk. And while I'm walking, I'm thinking. And I'm just letting the negativity and the bad things just drift away. And it has made such a big difference in my life. I mentioned it, meditating. I suck at meditating, but I keep trying because I can't shut my mind down. But I look for that clarity someday to be able to do that. And the last one that I love is the journal. If any of you who haven't started journaling or haven't kept a journal, I highly recommend it. I found mine from high school the other day, and my gosh, was that eye-opening. Anyway, I encourage it. Write it down, leave it somewhere, and move on. So please, everyone, let's try to keep our problems in perspective. I promise you, if you're able to do that, you're going to see such a significant and pronounced change in your life. You're going to smile more. You're going to have a little hop in your step. People are going to want to be around you, and you're going to be happier because we're only on this mortal coil for a short time. So we want to make the best of it. I appreciate everyone chiming in this morning. Please, if you liked what you heard, give me the like. If you really liked it, give me a heart. If you have something to say, you have a comment, please go ahead and leave it down below. Let me know what problems, small problem you're leaving there. Leave it on my page. Just leave your problem there. All right, and then go on with your day. And lastly, if you really are interested in, hearing more of my videos and talks, please go to Saulle Says on iTunes and pick up my podcast. And if you're ever interested in, working together, please reach out and let me know that as well via Facebook Messenger. But everyone, it is an absolutely glorious day. Tackle it with love and passion, and we'll see you again next week.